Yeah. Still getting his clothes made by the same pimp, I see. You know, those suits.
He is a 4-time NBA champion, the Spider-Man, John Salley.
John Salley.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And he, of course, is the voice of the fan. But look at him now, Tom Arnold.
Hey, guys.
Tom looks
Okay, easy.
Tom, you look good.
It is good to see you guys.
It's good to see you, man. It really is good to see you.
It's been a little while. We went off the air 15 years ago. We're not exactly sure why that happened. But Irv, you never wore a suit on our show. What's going on, man?
Well, I got other jobs, right? And I was doing one of those jobs. So I popped over here. I didn't have time to change. You know, it's like that. But every now and then, you know, and we grow. At least I hope we grow. I grew, but maybe they did not.
Yeah.
You know
Your hair is growing.
Hair is definitely
growing. You had a whole
hair
thing going
grown.
there.
That's right.
Look at that, Gio.
It's popping.
I can see where they stitched it in.
And you guys know that's the only way a man can give a man a compliment. So I take that as a compliment. I appreciate that, guys.
Yes. Take care.
Listen, we had a ton of fun back in the day. We got a couple of special guests coming your way in just 2 or 3 minutes.
Yes.
But listen, everybody these days, because of social media, has a voice, which is great. The landscape has changed. 20 plus years ago when we started this show, it was unlike anything I think that had ever been out there. Sal,
that's true.
In your opinion, what was it that separated Best Damn from the rest of the product that was out there?
That we had players, a comedian, a great host, and we didn't dress in suits. So the reason...
Oh, Jalen Rose!
Jalen.
That's what happened. Thanks for being on time.
Jalen.
Definitely.
Jalen, okay, I have to stand up.
Go on, man. Okay, buddy.
Oh, good.
Wow.
Damn.
You went with the Barry Sanders.
Oh, my God. Oh, look at that.
Basketball.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
This is the first time y'all said something was going to start at 2:30, but started early.
Yeah,
I thought we were on CP time.
we are. When you see that, when we dress like this, because when you watch sports and they're in a suit, you don't know who you're talking to. But when we were just casual and Tom was making jokes, that changed everything.
Yeah, plus the athletes love doing crazy shit with us, you know? Like, Serena Williams, she didn't just want to come on. We acted out scenes from The Godfather. You know, there's shit that you just, they're like, let's do something weird. I go, okay, let's do something weird. I would always do something weird with Serena Williams.
You had Eric Dickerson chasing chickens. Right? It's a great show.
Yeah.
Right. What I thought was great is like Tom talked about. We took the comedy and took it to the comedy and sports to mix it up, and we had so much fun doing it. We had so much. We played that basketball game against those
Short people.
the little people.
Little people.
And they won. They won the game. You know what I mean? It was different things that brought in fun.
And you know, I used to have a problem with short people since therapy, and then they had a whole bunch of short people come around me.
Little people. Yeah. Michael, you were always, everybody was always on. Oh, you're
wow, we can see you now.
You're sweating shirt. Yeah, everybody was always honest on the show, which is what I appreciated, you guys.
Yeah. So, Jalen, I want to ask you this very quickly.
Somebody's going to
You played kind of at the peak of your career. You would join us. Now, these days, it's commonplace for guys to join shows on a regular basis, but back then, it was kind of frowned upon. So why did you join us as much as you did on Best Damn?
Because you guys welcomed me, and I want to thank you guys because you guys helped literally launch my media career. This was at a time when the media and the players were separate. And coming on you guys' shows so many times, I got flack from current players, from current coaches, because I was criticizing or analyzing them while I was playing. And there were a few athletes before me, and I know if I start naming people, I'm gonna forget people that I looked up to. But Ahmad Rashad was somebody that was in the multimedia space, that played football, but was covering basketball, and I looked up to that. Jason Williams, when he was playing for the Nets, he was working for NBC. I wanted to be that. And then my OG, my big brother, John Salley. I love you, brother.
I love you more.
And I'm very grateful for you for so many reasons. Your professionalism, your intellect, but also the most important thing, you never hated on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, as I've gotten into this industry for like the last 25 years, there's side conversations that happen about our careers when we're not around, where people are jealous of what we're trying to do. And I'm forever grateful for you and all of you guys, because y'all gave me a platform, y'all gave me a voice, y'all gave me Posse Apprentice. Y'all let me come on y'all show.
Posse Apprentice.
Yes, with a Jeezy the Snowman shirt. Nobody even knew what that was.
I did.
Right. And John was like, you sure you're going to wear that? I was like, don't nobody know what it is but you.
Well, Sal would say, and we needed a production meeting, and he'd go, I don't want to talk about basketball today. I played it. And I'm like, what did we get to talk about then?
But think about this, Jalen now, I saw Jalen speaking so eloquently one time, to after you finished talking, they had to go to commercial, because you learn from Michael Irvin to sit here all the time.
All right, hey, hold on tight, because I want to add to our family real quick.
Yes.
We would have Jalen join us, but we also had these two guys on a regular basis. He's going to be a future Baseball Hall of Famer, CC Sabathia.
CC!
Yeah.
CC! Bay Area!
The
New York
media
Yankees.
mogul,
Give it up, give it up.
Stephen
CC!
A.
Bay
Smith.
Area!
Where is Stephen A?
There he is.
There he is, Stephen A.
You can sit down, Stephen A. Smith.
No, you're good.
Wait a minute, where do I move?
We're good.
do I
We're
move?
good. You sure? I'm not so sure my ass can fit on
that'd
that
be
job.
I know, that's why I moved.
All right,
Yeah.
so Stephen A.
What have you been doing since the show?
We've kinda lost
We
track.
haven't heard anything from you, and I feel badly. Did you retire?
I haven't retired, I just moved, you know.
Oh!
A lot going on. First of all, let me tell y'all how happy I am to be here. All these peeps up here are my peeps. You know, we all go back years, and last time when it was 2001 to 2003 was when I was on the Best Damn Sports Show. So when they told me everybody was gonna be here, I had to be here for this. It's good to see everybody, y'all.
Hey, you know, I saw a commercial and you were showing muscles. Yeah, that was all AI, right?
Nah, well, no, not anymore. It would have been that way a few years ago, you know, but I had a health scare after that COVID joint, and ever since then, I've been in the gym 6 days a week.
That away,
Yeah.
baby. Hey,
You look
CC.
good.
Like that.
So you joined us when you were just really a kid in the major leagues. What the hell did you think of this show when you first came on it?
Oh, I loved it. Anytime I can go on the show and wear whatever I want to wear and be with legends, you know what I mean? Like, it was just always so much fun to be able to come down and be on set with you guys and kind of learn the game, being around Sal early. Like, it just set me up to be, to be in my professional career and like extend it after. So it's been a lot of fun.
Loved it.
So you got the Hall of Fame next year, am I right?
I hope so.
Yeah, you do.
Yes, give it up, give it up.
251 wins. People love you here in this town and Cleveland, but they love you.
Hey, listen, anybody want to ask a question out there? Because we do. That's good, because Tom Arnold's going to head out there in a few minutes. But since we
I
have
gotta
so
ask
much...
Stephen A. Smith a question. But what I love about these guys' career, they're diversified. They do. So you got a school. I mean, you guys, I'm so proud to know you guys. Stephen A. Smith, I heard you say that you're trashing Kamala Harris because she's not doing any interviews. Is that because you want an interview and you're trying to rope her in, or do you believe that?
Now, honestly speaking, listen, she's got my vote. I'm definitely voting for her. But what I don't want to happen is I don't want her to find herself in a situation where she blows the election the way I believe Hillary Rodham Clinton blew it in 2016. The last waning days before of election, and you're not doing any interviews, you're not campaigning, you're not putting in that work. Don't take anything for granted.
But Stephen A. Smith, as a sports fan, you know this. If your team is on a roll, and your team has been undefeated, and that's how I would. You don't do anything different. You're superstitious. Put on the same
She's
underwear.
on a roll as long as he keep talking. As long as
That's
he
right.
keep doing interviews, she's on a roll.
Well, I would say this. That's true unless they are able to shift the focus to she doesn't want to debate or she doesn't want to do any interviews, because a lot of times a lot of folks in the country don't focus on a lot of the issues. They focus on things like that. What I'm saying is don't give the other side any ammunition. Let me use a sports analogy. You know what? there's something to be said for having your foot on somebody's neck and not taking it off.
See, this is why we had a great show, because it's called the Best Damn Sports Show, and you can talk about politics for one less minute.
Exactly. So we make a seamless transition from the 2024 presidential election to America's, what was once America's team, Michael Irvin's Dallas Cowboys. I want you to listen up. Listen.
You guys can't, wait. You cannot take a moniker from anybody now just because they haven't won a Super Bowl in a few years.
3 decades, Mike.
In a few years.
You need to stop that nonsense.
They're still America.
Stop that nonsense.
You can't take them on.
Don't you even try that up here today. On a Sunday afternoon, you ain't gonna sit up here and preach something less than the gospel. You got a starting quarterback that's got 2 playoff victories in 8 years. I don't want to hear a damn thing about, oh, just because you haven't won in 28 years, that don't mean you can't win. Yeah, you've been winning.
But you still can't take a name
You
from
keep trying.
somebody. Come on, man. Y'all gotta
Okay,
stop
so let me be the referee.
Just say America's team haven't won, but you can't try to snatch America's
You
team
can't
from
snatch
us.
it. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm a diehard Pistons fans. I just showed you my shirt. We weren't the bad boys last year.
That's true.
They were bad.
Yeah.
So you don't
They
get
were
to
real
get
bad.
Yo, Jalen, Michael, don't y'all notice? Michael Irvin think that changing hairdos is gonna help the Cowboys. That's how desperate he is. He's willing to try anything. It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work.
Wait.
They gonna go down again.
Wait.
Trust me.
Steve,
Just
I
wait for
was in Dallas, and I went by the practice facility, and I didn't see Michael Irvin, but I saw Stephen A. Smith welcoming everybody into Dallas. So I think you really are a Dallas Cowboy fan.
No.
You just picked the other side.
No.
He wears the hat well, too.
I'm cool.
The cowboy hat.
I'm cool with Jerry Jones. I loved Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman.
So you're a Cowboy fan?
No, I'm not a Cowboy fan. I'm just saying, my issue is not with the Cowboys. It's with that disgusting, nauseating fan base that makes me want to throw up every time I listen to them. That's my issue. with who they are.
No. I intimately know this gentleman to my left, and he was dating a Cowboy fan, and she broke his heart.
Oh,
And
no.
he started dating a Cowboy fan.
All right, that's it.
Hold on. That's a true story in terms of my ex. What I'm saying is, I wasn't a Cowboy fan, though.
Okay.
It's just that when she broke my heart, it made it worse. That's the truth.
Yeah. Let me tell you a story about being a fan, because I am the fan on the show, the voice of the fan. And here's something we would have done if the show was on. I'm an Iowa Hawkeye, and let me tell you something. We've had a good few years. I went back. I stayed at Lisa Bluter, the women's basketball coach, in her basement. She made me a waffle for breakfast. We were on our way to see Iowa play Penn State, who we beat. They were undefeated. It was a perfect Iowa weekend. We stopped. I see Dan Gable. Do you guys remember Dan Gable?
Of course
Probably
they don't.
the greatest coach of
Legendary wrestler.
Right, but hey, I drive by his house. He's got a pooper scooper in his log, and I'm like, Gable, what the fuck are you doing on the goddamn? And he's like picking up the poop. We go to the game. Iowa wins. I go to women's practice, give Caitlin Clark a pep talk, and since then it's just been all up.
You had to give Caitlin Clark a pep talk.
Well, no, I did it for myself.
There was that whole story to get to. I gave Caitlin Clark a pep talk.
Yeah. While she was walking by, you was
just say you talked to Caitlin Clark. You're gonna cut all that out.
Yeah. All right, I got another one for you. All you guys talk about is Caitlin Clark over there at that.
She should.
Network.
I wouldn't say that. We talk about
I know
Angel
she
Reese.
did.
We talk about Angel Reese. We talk about Asia Wilson.
That's
not
right.
true.
He's
That's
right.
not true.
But 20 years ago, you did not talk about the WNBA.
No, we
People
didn't.
did not pay
Neither
attention
did you.
to it.
Neither did we,
It's great.
Tom.
Not even
It's great.
you. Not even the whole
But
man.
it's great. Isn't that a huge sea change?
Yeah.
Right.
It's great.
Hey, all right, I do want
to
to move on to this because I know we're a couple months away from tip-off of the NBA season, but I think we have got this enormous story that some people just want to shoot down left and right because it deals with LeBron James and his oldest son, Bronny, who was drafted in the second round by the Lakers. So, Jalen, I want to start with you, and I want everybody getting a bite of this apple. Are we not making it a big enough deal, or are we making too much out of it?
So coincidentally, my father played in the league. He was the #1 pick in the 1967 draft. His name is Jimmy Walker. But I never met him. So I used to have his basketball card. That's what's crazy for me, being at this memorabilia and trading card show. And I used to use his basketball card as entry to hoop games. Like, this is my father, I got next. And they like, we don't care. We want to see your game. And regardless of Bronny getting drafted or not, the beauty of sports is he still got a ball. So don't worry about his rookie contract. Don't worry about what pick he was. When you're in sports, he still got a ball. And if he balls, he gonna have staying power. And the other thing about being on the Lakers stage, those lights are extra bright. So every turnover, every missed shot is gonna be highlighted. So if he got game, he'll have a long career.
Okay, Speed, I want to get to Steven in a sec, but CC,
If he don't, he'll be out fast, like all the rest of the players.
CC, you've got kids that are stud athletes too. You got one that's going to be hopefully starting first baseman at Houston. Could you imagine if you and he had a chance to play on the same team in the major leagues? Like, why aren't we making this a bigger deal, just letting it happen and enjoy it?
No, I think it's incredible. I think, no, I couldn't imagine playing with my son. You know what I mean? I think that's the beauty of LeBron. I think if you just watch his whole career, it's been a bunch of things that you couldn't imagine happening. Him winning the championship in Cleveland, his hometown. Nobody ever thought that was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So for him to be able to play with his son, I just think it's an incredible accomplishment. And I'm excited for him. I'm anxious and I want to see what's going to happen.
I'm very excited about Bronny James. First of all, LeBron James is the greatest basketball player that ever lived. He has proven that. Number two, you want your son on the freaking team? Are you shitting me?
Nobody
Yes.
ever
If
agreed.
you're a plumber, you want your son to be a plumber with you. It's going to be great. The kid has a great attitude. He doesn't care.
All right.
I think it's going to be great. Go ahead.
So this is the deal. Did Junior play? Did Ken Griffey Jr. play with his
Yeah, he
father?
played with his dad.
So in baseball, it's happened. I think it's going to be great if he could chaperone his son. He's going to make him a better player. He got a chaperone because when you go on the road, it's chaperone, right?
I don't understand, John. I didn't have an NBA career. What happens on the road?
Oh, on the road, you know, you got to find the restaurants.
Right.
The right restaurants with the right entertainment. So you got to make sure that you can go to those restaurants. And his son is too young to be in those restaurants.
Let me tell you what I love about John Salley. And I learned this. When he was a rookie, he came out of Georgia Tech. He was the 11th pick of the draft by the Pistons. He was feeling good about himself. He's like, I'm not just a rookie. I'm freaking John Salley. And what happened when you got to practice with the bad boys?
I literally had to clean up the locker room. My nickname is Doodoo. I had to carry Adrian Dantley's bag. My nickname was Doodoo. To this day, like Rick Mahorn would see me say, Doodoo, come here.
Yeah.
And
You're still afraid of Rick Mahorn.
I
Rick
still
Mahorn said, I'm going to beat your ass.
Everybody's afraid of Rick.
Yeah, that's true.
Stephen A.,
That's-
are we not
that's a
making
hell
a
of
big
a-
enough deal about LeBron
Dude.
and Bronny?
We made a big enough deal about it. I think that nobody else is going to say it, so I'm going to say it. I'm rooting for Bronny James. And I have LeBron James as the second greatest player in the history of basketball behind Michael Jordan. Yeah. So let me get that out the way. Yeah. Number 1, number 2. This is the part where, and this is where I've been critical of LeBron James. Bronny James, I never watched him, Jalen, until he got to USC. I never watched him once in high school or anything like that because I know if I watched him, I'd have to critique him. And I didn't want to critique him because I thought it was going to be unfair to him because I knew the vitriol that everybody uses as an excuse, or a lot of people use as an excuse to get on LeBron James. And I didn't want to do that to him. But here's where LeBron James messed up, and he has to own it. Plenty of parents, any parent will want their child to emulate them and come to the NBA. There's no crime to that. He went further than that. He said, I want to play with him. Not only did he say, I want to play with him, okay? Then you've got a situation where you're a high school All-American, averaging 14 a game, and high school All-Americans are telling us that's not usually what happens. You go to USC, obviously had the heart ailment, and God bless him that he's okay and he's fine and all of that. But then you average less than 5 a game, and then you declare for the NBA draft. In the midst of doing all of that, your father goes out and says, he's better than some NBA players. So you add that pressure to him. Then, when he enters the NBA draft, clearly, if you know anything about the NBA draft, it was the skids were greased. It's like, yo, move out the way because he gonna go to Australia before he come play for any of y'all. We want him with the Lakers. So the process was manipulated. Good. Hold on. No fault of Bronny James. No fault of his. But if you're his dad, you could have done all of that while shutting the hell up. You didn't have to tell everybody. Because by doing so, you built vitriol for him unnecessarily. It was already gonna come by virtue of him being your son. But you doing what you did in that regard just added a mountain of stuff on that kid's shoulders. I hope we can handle it.
Let me say, no. And
I was on the record saying that he's better than some NBA players. And he's on the record saying he wanted to be a
Stop. I think he was very directed and very shrewd in all of it. And we're losing a big piece of this if we don't see the brilliance of LeBron James. You guys always compare him to Michael Jordan. In the end, Michael Jordan could not get his own owner to keep his whole team together while LeBron James have just handled the whole NBA as a black man. The whole NBA. Prince got his son on his
Hallelujah.
Sit down. Y'all don't want to give him the real love.
Holy water.
Y'all don't want to give him the real love that he deserves. What he did because he got his own son drafted on his team. Nobody else.
Talking a lot don't make you right. You are wrong. Go ahead, James.
So a few things. Did nepotism play a part?
Yes.
Absolutely. Who's Bronny James' agent?
Me.
Rich Paul, LeBron James' best friend,
Oh man.
who's about to marry Adele,
You can't be mad
and
at
one of the most powerful people in sports.
He outbid.
And let me tell y'all something. If the other teams in the league wanted Bronny and they felt like he was that type of player, they wouldn't have listened to them saying he's going to Australia or wherever. They would have took him.
He
was there for them.
great businessmen, and y'all got an issue with it. As a black man,
Ain't no issue.
Tom got a
That's
kid.
not our
Ain't no
issue.
issue.
That's not our issue.
Ain't
We
no
didn't say
issue.
that. What we're saying, playmaker, is do all of those things. But when he voiced, he's better than some NBA players. When he voiced, I want to be his teammate.
Right.
That's when you brought that extra stuff. You could have done all of that, but without saying anything.
But Stephen A., what
Next topic.
that was marketing promotion for Bronny. That's what he was doing.
Okay.
Listen, he's kind of been doing this for years, getting certain guys contracts anyway. I mean, he has been a de facto GM in Cleveland. He was in Miami. He's been with the Lakers.
The other part that Playmaker didn't bring up is that when you compare him to Jordan and what Jordan couldn't convince his own owner, that's because Jordan was with that one franchise for decades. LeBron James has been in 3 different locations.
But also,
and the Lakers are desperate.
That was part of his plan. That was part of his plan. He's been very direct.
All right, last point, Jalen.
But hold on,
Part of his plan.
That was a different era. Just think
He
about
could've
this.
stayed where he
Just
wanted.
think about relationships. Magic Johnson had an amazing relationship with Dr. Jerry Buss that carried so long that he became the owner.
Yes.
Larry Bird didn't finish with the Celtics. Isaiah Thomas didn't finish with the Pistons.
Correct.
Michael Jordan didn't finish with the Bulls.
Who Isaiah finished with?
He went to Toronto, New York.
Oh, you mean as an owner?
Yeah, as an executive.
They had.
By the way, I didn't finish with Roseanne either. I kept moving.
Thank God.
Onward and upward. Hey, got questions?
Yes, we have questions. So Tom, let's go.
Right here.
Stand up there, sir.
Make it a good question.
So Cece, you had an awesome career before you came to New York, but if you get to the Hall, are you going in as a Yankee?
Ooh, if I get to the Hall,
Are you
I'm
going-
going in as a Yankee. 1,000%.
Yeah, I can't blame you. Chris Rose,
I'm
you
sorry,
can't blame
Chris.
him. That's a really good question. What's your question, buddy? Get up here. Get up here.
My question's for you, Tom.
Yes.
Okay. You and I go way back years. I met you in San Diego at the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Then I saw you again at Macy's.
Yes.
What are you up to these days, of all people? We're hearing everybody else what they're up to. What are you up to?
I've done a lot since the show. I got married twice, divorced 3 times. I have 2 kids. I had a stroke. I've done 60 movies, 2 good ones. So I've been up to a lot.
One of your comedy shows.
Please do. Great question. Oh, I gotta take a fucking picture with you. Okay.
What are you, FaceTiming?
By the way, my son, at 3 in the morning, FaceTiming, he goes, I show Speed is there, racing Travis Scott in the hallway. Can you go get a picture of them? I go, yeah, I guess. Is ISO Speed here? Is that somebody? That's the kid. He's a YouTuber. I'll race you. Don't worry. Oh, you got a question, dude? Who's got a question?
First of all, I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. Growing up Michael Irvin and Stephen A. You're right about LeBron James. I watch you all the time on First Take. Michael Jordan is the GOAT. I believe that.
Yeah!
I'm a Bulls fan, and I'm proud of it.
Yeah, the Cowboys better win this year, because I don't know how long he's got, okay? What was he, you right? Come on, man, give it right there. Okay, was that a question? Dude, does a woman have a question? Oh, well, she got a cowboy. Is that a cowboy? Here you go, man.
LeBron James, that's an awesome man. He's been through a lot, okay? And I have followed him. No matter what he do with his children, he raised them well, okay? That's a strong black man.
Yeah, well, there you go. There you go, that's it.
Just said otherwise.
Just
said otherwise. Questions are better than comments, but we appreciate it. Good job.
Yeah, we wanted you to ask these guys questions.
Over here. Tom.
Okay. What's your question? I really wanted them to ask questions.
Over there, they look
It's
like they know
TV.
what
We
they
need
wanna
people that look good. Come on. What's happening? Do you have a question, buddy? What's going on?
We know Stephen Curry and Magic Johnson are the top 2 point guards all time. Who's number 3? Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
Isaiah Thomas,
Yeah,
the
that's
only
nice.
human being walking the face of the earth,
Yeah.
got a winning record against Jordan, Bird, and Magic. Back-to-back champion.
Wow.
Bad boys. Isaiah Thomas.
Let me say something that's changed since we had the show 15 years ago. People have such strong opinions in this country that they can't enjoy stuff. People were outraged at the opening of the Olympic ceremony. They didn't like a little part of it, so they're like, we're not going to watch the Olympics. The Olympics were incredible. We had the Olympics. I was so proud of America and watching these athletes. Don't let anybody take you out. I don't care who you vote for. Sports is better than politics. We don't. We're loyal. We root for our fans, man.
All right, Tommy, one more question.
Yeah.
And then we're going to...
Oh, there you go. Here you go. Did you see that backwards pass last night?
It's phenomenal.
How good is that guy?
It was great. So this is a question for Michael. So you know that Dak's contract is up this year. Do you think Dak will be returning to Dallas, or Shedeur Sanders will be the #1 pick?
Asking about Dak's contract and whether or not he
Is there a
returns to
question
Dallas.
in the near future?
Do you think that Dak is returning back to Dallas, or Shedeur Sanders will be the pick for the Dallas Cowboys next year?
No, Dak will be the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. Trust me. CeeDee Lamb will be the wide receiver for the
Can I
Dallas
ask a better
Cowboys.
question?
The deal will get done, as I tell everyone.
Can
when
I ask
the
a better
slipper
question?
falls all Cinderella and the carriage turns back into a pumpkin on the last minute, they'll get the deal done.
That is not the question that should have been asked to Michael Irvin. The question that should have been asked to Michael Irvin is Dak Prescott worth $60 million a year?
Yes.
To keep him. That should have been the question.
So what is the answer?
The hell to the no.
Hell to the
Hell to the no.
No way.
Now, don't get me wrong.
You don't
It's not
think
what you work because 2 playoff victories in 8 years should not equate to 60. Now, I don't want the brother not to get his money. But what I'm saying to you is that at least, you know what? How about 50 million so we can get other pieces to help you when you choke?
But I don't
How
understand.
about that?
He can't throw the ball, catch the ball, and run the ball.
Excuse me. Throw the ball. You talking about the pick sixes? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Stop. And with the shame, Chris Rose, the shame, the blasphemy, is that this brother right here, a 3-time Super Bowl champion, a Hall of Famer, knowing that it takes at least 3 postseason victories in 1 season to capture a Super Bowl championship, to be winning the pom-poms for a dude that can't even get 3 playoff victories in 8 years.
Well, Michael has
It's
a superpower.
Hey, CC, I got a question for you. Who's going to be better?
Emotional right there.
Who's going to be better? Who's going to be better this year, the Giants or the Jets?
Jets.
Oh, that's easy. That's easy.
Jay,
I'm going
come
with
on,
the
man.
Jets.
Come on, man.
I'm going with the Jets. I'm going Aaron Rodgers and the Jets.
And listen, that's a layup because the Giants they're rough. But The question is how good the Jets are. They have the longest playoff drought going in the NFL. Aaron Rodgers played all of 3 snaps a season ago.
Playoff drought ends this year. If Aaron Rodgers is healthy, the playoff drought ends this year. Do they get to the playoffs?
Do they win the division?
Yes.
You think they win the East?
Well, first of all, Buffalo lost all its weapons.
Right.
And secondly, with Miami, do y'all know that Miami, in 40-degree weather or less, Miami is 0-11? Losing by an average of 17 points per game.
And the Jets
they are
defense is
allergic to inclement weather.
Yeah.
You can't win anything like that. Yes, the Jets win the AFC East.
What?
How good are they,
Put
Irv?
the pressure on them.
Listen.
You're like LeBron putting pressure on Bronny. You're like,
Rod-
the Jets are not going to win the AFC East.
Aaron Rodgers is a bad man, and they just got a great opportunity. But I love what Miami has. I love Tyreek Hill. I love, even in the midst of everything and all the money that's skyrocketing for wide receivers. You heard what Tyreek Hill said the other day. He said, and I wish he would say it, he said, I told my agent to do his business, but make sure he does not get me traded because I will win the championship with this team. That means he's giving his team and his fan base hope. I like Miami. I can't wait to see that game.
Did anybody
I love Aaron
understand a word
Rodgers.
he
I like
just said?
Miami.
You have to tell me. He's like 2 months from being Grady at Sanford.
Yeah, they understood.
All right, listen.
They understood.
We only got a couple minutes left.
I love Miami
they
too.
got
I didn't
it.
say a damn thing about the
That
Dolphins.
speed.
Talk over them. Talk over them, Chris.
I hear you.
What about the Dolphins?
Tom Brady, he's been around here at Fanatics Fest all weekend long. First of all, big shout out to Michael Rubin and Fanatics for getting us back
How
together
cool
for
is
the
this
first time in
freaking
15 years.
invention?
It's awesome.
It's the first one they've ever had. How cool is Fanatics? Man, they got it. I'd like to own that.
Well-
Sal, I'd like to get me in there.
Yeah, check your couch cushions, I'm sure,
Yeah.
or check your ex-wives, one of the two.
Yeah.
But
Hey,
I want to know,
everybody
guys, we're going to be listening as much to the NFL season as watching it because Tom Brady's going in the booth. If you could give him one piece of advice to take into the booth, what would you give him? I want to go all the way around the horn. Jalen?
The biggest piece of advice to anybody that wants to work in media is fans of teams and people that consume what you say, they're not going to necessarily criticize your opinion, they're going to criticize you. So once you get past that, you're going to be all good. So for example, if Stephen A says, hey, I don't like the Dallas Cowboys, they won't win the Super Bowl. Somebody else might say something personal about him, not necessarily about his comment. So when you get past that, I think you be on your way.
My advice to Tom Brady, and I already gave it to him, was
Good for you.
just be your realest self. He is a 7-time champion, okay? What are you going to question about Tom Brady if Tom Brady is pointing out something about you on a football field? Just say it. And don't get me wrong, don't be inhumane, don't be indecent, don't be all of those things. All right, and from time to time, hell, I've been guilty of that. I'm not innocent by any stretch. I've grown up. I'm not the man I used to be when I was younger and all.
That's true, that's true.
But I'm gonna call it like I see it. But when he calls it like he sees it, the credibility that comes with it is immeasurable. There's a 3-time Super Bowl champion up here sitting on this stage, and he would have a hard time questioning the legitimacy and the validity of something coming out of the mouth of Tom Brady. Because if Tom Brady says it, you got to go like this. Well, damn, I got to think about that. It's that simple.
That's not necessarily true. Because what ends up happening as a former player, right? You have an opinion, but when he says what he wants to say about the Buffalo Bills, that fan base is going to take it personal. And because you're successful as an athlete, that doesn't make you immune to criticism.
I'm not saying he won't.
Those are two different things.
I'm saying he can't care about
And
it.
there are great players that ain't great analysts. Just like there are people that didn't play that are great analysts. So because you accomplish so much as a player, that doesn't make you immune to criticism or make everything you say right.
But I'm not saying he's immune to it. What I'm saying is if he's real and his true, authentic self, that's all you can be concerned about.
Yep.
Because again, if you don't have the courage to be your true, authentic self, then the criticism in all likelihood is going to affect you more than it would affect.
But it
somebody
takes
who
a
is-
beat in front of the camera. You know that. These guys as ex-athletes are amazing. That is not the norm. I'm to tell you, guys try. It's a whole different thing. What I want from Tom Brady as a fan is I want him to show how smart he is and say, this is what's going to happen this play, and this guy did this, this guy, when I've heard John Madden do that, or Tony Romo, I'm like, that is interesting, because he knows more than me, not Dak, that he has, but the X's and O's and facts and schemes and shit that I could never think of, and he explains it before it happens. That's the kind of, that's what we need.
I think he should do this. Make sure he gets his hair cut by the same person, makeup by the right person, suits that are real, not some of the suits that you can get downtown LA $300-400. Not saying anybody else I know that does that, but he should look professional and speak the truth about the game, not about the player.
Irv?
He has to do him. And Tom Brady has always been great at everything he's done. I understand what Stephen A. is saying. He's saying this man has always found all the answers. So every time he speaks on anything, who are we to question? Because every question that has been put before him, he's answered. He went on to win. But the thing I think is most important is he's always been a good man. You've never heard anyone say anything in a poor way about Tom Brady. That part right there, he needs to hold on to. Always have the same empathy for people as he's speaking, when he's speaking about people. Always have the same love for people. I think he'll be great at doing this because people want to hear from him.
CC, give it to me in 30.
I think he'll be great. I agree with Stephen A. I think it's going to be hard to argue with anything he says. You know, I mean, he's the GOAT. So, you know, kind of whatever he says, it's going to make you think about it. So I'm excited to see what happens.
And he could say no to his producer. His producer comes up, this next segment, I want you to insult this player. I want you to put down their talent. He could say no.
Well,
he could absolutely
is
say
working
no, I'm not
with one of the
do it.
best producers in the business, a guy named Richie Zients. He's a good
Oh, it's true.
Well, a $300 million deal allow you to do that part-time.
Yeah.
Hey, listen.
Yeah.
I mean, we could keep doing this for hours.
We
All
should.
I can tell you is that we want to thank Fanatics. This is something that we wanted to do for well over 15 years.
You got an email from that? They bring the best band show back.
So we want to give a special shout out, obviously, to CC, Jalen, Stephen A. Continued success there.
Yeah, really.
On behalf of Michael, Sal, Tom Arnold, I am Chris Rose. We have not forgotten about our buddy John Kruk, who unfortunately has to work today. John Kruk is our
He's got an 80 chicken wing eating contest.
We do love that guy.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for hanging out with us
Thank
today
you,
at
guys.
Fanatics Fest. Go enjoy the rest of the show. We appreciate you very much. Thank you.
Okay, hold on, do it real quick.